e-gaming bets, online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2? Make a prediction for picks and bans. Playing CSGO? Guess the number of rounds in a certain match. Daily quests for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.
Well, guys, if you do know for sure who's going to win, you know, you should head on over to EGB. I'm not a sellout whatsoever. I don't know what you're talking about. Either way, joined again by Harry, who has said some interesting things throughout today. I'm hoping that will not continue, as I am mentally scarred for life. But how you feeling this one? Tengri, iGame? You sticking with iGame all the way?
No. Did you hear that? Did you hear the students yelling? Sorry. People are getting hyped. It's like having a crowd, you know? But apart from they're probably drunk. But yeah, well, it's no different to normal. Anyway, sorry about that. Tengri versus iGame, like you say, decided it's going to be overpass. And where do I lean, Tom? Well, I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to say Tengri. I was originally sticking with my Finnish brethren. But I think they have not been playing very well. And when you look at it, overpass isn't one they're too confident on.
I feel a little bit sick of done that. You've gone for, if they win now, you're gonna have to just like leave.
I don't care. I'm shameless in that. I've abandoned iGame.
You've abandoned.
Good riddance. That's what I say.
Your morals.
Tengri, on the other hand, ooh, they're looking on fire.
I'm a little bit. I'm still gonna stick with what I said because I'm not a horrible sellout and I don't just like go back. Oh, that was a nice shot, Mix 7. But yeah, I do think that towards the end of that, they definitely look like the stronger team. The thing I'm a little bit scared about is just the way that they were setting up. Like they were being run over. They just found a sort of weak point in it, and eventually they fixed that. But it did take them quite a while. And if they had won that sort of sketchy buy that they came up with, we could have seen a completely different game. So I am a little bit worried about them. I do think that they are going to be looking strong going into this. But at the same time, this is the map that was left. This isn't picked by either of the teams. They get one ban each. This is the map that was left at the end. Twister has just left. He's just died. Was actually just sitting in the server for a little bit. Going to be coaching on the side of iGame. And, well, we're going to be going into this knife round. Obviously, CT side is what we expect both these teams to choose. But so far, both teams have actually shown some promise over on the T side.
Yeah, definitely. And, well, to continue with our way of doing things, we're going to go for a little bit of chat interaction just with the knife rounds underway because we care about what you beautiful people are saying. We want you to be involved in the discussion. Be sure to write your predictions, your thoughts, everything like that in chat. And at the start of the game, and probably at the half times and at the end, we'll have a quick look. Just try and keep the theme going. Shout out to everyone who's watching. Just a couple of names. Can't read out that one.
Can't read either of them out.
Patatsu Capron 267892. Klyken, can't read out that one. Razin.
Hey, man, how much you paying? That's all I have to say. No one can. I'm not going to read out what he said, but I'm just asking how much he's paying. How'd you say that?
Said 308. Oh god, no wait, that's 300,800. Essen skill. There you go. We got Stormy says he's bet on iGame. Fortive number 7 says shout out to my mum. Shout out to your mum, dude. I'm sure she's fantastic. She raised you. You know, shout out to mums everywhere. As a matter of fact, you know, mums are fantastic. They make the world go round. So there we go.
Gravity or something like that, but sun.
Well, I mean, it depends what you're on about. If you mean the rotation of the Earth, it's the... Well, there's a lot of things, Tom. There's a lot of things. I did physics. I did physics at A-level. I actually know all this, but I'm not going to go off on one.
There's a lot of things.
Yeah, well, I'm going to keep it simple, Tom, for you.
Oh, what are you trying to
Simplifying. Nothing.
Trying to say? No, I'm a very well-educated person, and I know exactly what I'm talking about at all times.
Oh. C Nano 98 said, "My mum is the sun." That's incredibly hurtful.
Wait. I thought that
But
was...
in the sense that she is a shining ball of radiance in the sky that literally fuels our existence.
Because she's hot.
Maybe it's because she is huge. There's a lot of reasons. But anyway, I tell you what is going to be huge. This pistol round as we head into this. Tengri over on the CT side. iGame kicking things off. Over on the side of the T's, 3 players down at B. They do send Zore and Saw out towards mid to try and duel with SNK. He's here. He's primed. He's ready. And he's standing by some toilets. Now he's going to be falling on back. Does relinquish control of mid for the time being as Tengri now looking to try and force some aggression down in towards water. This is going to get them information if they do go for this peak. Sagaton is watching for the time being, but looks like Pachanka might be able to find a little bit of info here. They're not going to be ready for him to have gone this aggressive. And unless iGame clear out connector, he could cause some serious trouble. You can see that Fitch has already pushed in as well. There's a lot of aggression coming out from Tengri early on, and it might pay off for them here as 2 players now coming in through connector. They check the angle, but they don't check it well enough, as Zore just gives it a passing thought, and that's going to be enough. That's going to allow Fitch to get the first. Now Pachanga rotating up short. They're not going to be ready for this. As he comes on in, he's going to have his face removed. Sonic on the side, though, finds 2, finds himself 3. That's going to be the triple for him, and now it's all on Saw. 1v3.
Yeah, and the problem is as well, he was sort of the lurk player, so he's now going to come back in, run down the stairs all the way to the B side. They're going to have heard him as well. He's stepping everywhere, and there shouldn't be any way that he wins this round. It should just not be possible, even if they just play it passively, but... You know, instant headshot onto Ramzik, definitely going to help his case a little bit, but I just like the passive hold at the moment from the remaining CTs. They've got a crossfire, they've got the bomb, they have got absolutely no reason to overpeak in this scenario. They're going to hear him coming and just basically play this one as a team. Very smart stuff, nice round coming out from Sonic, and that will be the pistol round going the way of Tengri.
Yeah, Tengri, go ahead and pick that one up. They can try and carry this forward by picking up the anti-eco, the respective 2 extra rounds they can get from that. Now, no team has been able to do that thus far in just a straight go of it. Let's see if iGame can bounce back and do what we expect them to do at this point.
These pistols have been very deadly, especially over on this T side of things. The aggression working out wonderfully. Nice nade to start things off, however. Will do a nice bit of damage. Trying to take over this connector control quite heavily. Fitch is actually going to get isolated, and, well, maybe it starts to happen again. Zori's actually going to win the first frag of the round. Ramzik's going to get caught out on the site as well. Already a 2-man advantage for this T side, and these anti-ecos definitely looking sketchier by the second. Sagaton, he's back on this map at least. Gets himself another entry kill onto this site, and with only 2 players left, it is happening again. Tengri unable to capitalize on the second round, where they have an advantage. And Sonic, hello? They just about gets that kill. Still going to be an advantage over for this T side. If they make some mistakes, maybe there's potential. He's actually got it back to a 2 versus 2. They do have a kit in hand. The range game can be played at the moment, but you have to remember there's only 1 player with a rifle. That's going to be Sonic. He actually gets himself another kill, trying to bait out this defuse. And can he get this kill on Tech 7? No, he can't. He's just going to be baiting this out at the end. Just going to go straight for the defuse. What?
Oh no, 7.
Oh, he's got it! What?
Oh, that was so close, Sonic! He does the impossible. He lands the 1 tap with the USP. And 7 just kind of cemented his role as the living, breathing meme on the side of iGame. Just a quick shout out as well for those of you who are looking for the big versus team 1-2-3 game. That's going to be going ahead over on the second stream, twitch.tv/Starladder_CS_EN2. And that's going to be brought to you by our very good friend Hugo Byron. So if you're interested in that game, be sure to go ahead and check that out. That said, this one's going to be much more interesting, so stay here with us. We can currently see that Zore finds that first frag on Ramzik over towards long. Now, interestingly, iGame actually went kind of balls to the wall here and have gone for the buy.
I like it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a good idea, right? Yeah. So it's a good it's a good shot for them to try and ruin the economy of Tengri. They've also been able to get that M4 early on, and that's going to now be up on Juho. They're trying to use that to full advantage. They make their way up long. You can see there's a little bit of aggression coming out from Pachanga, and he might get punished for this. Instead, though, iGame, they changed their sights and instead looked to head over towards B, rejoining Sagaton over here. Looking like they're just going to look to try and rush on in. SNK and Sonic going to have their work cut out for them.
Yeah, Sonic's been the star of the show so far. 3 kills pissed around, 4 kills to save them around. He is going to have the majority of the work to do yet again. This time, there is a couple of rifles on the side of things. I liked how Zori got that entry kill and then actually switched the rifle over to a healthier teammate. So they are playing this one relatively smart. A little bit of a crossfire, but it is going to be on Sonic, and this time he gets nothing done. Rotation will be quick, but Fitch, he's going to be caught out. He's got to try and get through this door, and this is just a death chokehold. Shouldn't be able to do anything. SNK, however, can get himself 2. He's brought this back to a possible position, especially Changa getting another kill. Going to be down to this 2 versus 1. Now, they threw away much more than this last time. This time, trying to play these passive positions. He does have a kit. Got a Molotov as well to try and slow them down. Going to go looking for the other frag. It's Sagaton. He will finally get them that round that they probably deserved in the last.
Yeah, no, the aggressive force going to be working out there for the side of iGame. As a result, they're going to have a good bit of money to buy on down into this round. Tengri I'm going to be looking to try and answer back with some aggression of their own. It's an interesting decision to go for the force here, as they weren't on the cusp of the double eco. Instead, they just want to try and hit the economy of iGame while it's low, pick up a chance round. And I mean, you know, famously, iGame haven't been very good at fending off against these force buys. Let's see if this round's going to be a little bit different. Though Fitch already playing aggressively in through connector will be facing off against Sagaton. The UMP player. Fitch can get the hell out of there. Make his way over towards mid. Now playing things over towards toilets, trying to spot out Party and Connector. He does have his work cut out for him. But now's the guys on B. Look to go aggressive, and Ramsik over towards long. Finds some damage on the Zora. He's going to be able to deal with Zora as well. Peeks out wide. He's looking for a second. This scout doing a boatload of damage. Oh, he's found so much damage to the side of iGame. Both Saw and Juho tagged extremely low. And now SNK is going to rotate around, pick up that scout. They're just going to juggle it back and forth. Seven does find Pachanga, who is on that aggressive play over towards B. And this is where they should rush down towards that B site. Only one player here for the side of Tengri to hold things down, and that's going to be Sonic. He's got a little bit of utility to play around with. iGame still taking things slowly, and this could come back to haunt them. They don't have a lot of time. If Sonic can just delay the push into the site by a little bit, not only by plenty of time to rotate, but he might even be able to deny that bomb plant. And well, you can already see they've rotated a player down in the form of SNK. He's got that scout up towards heaven, and he can wreak some damage from there. Nade goes out. I know it's a lot of damage on a Sagaton.
Pistols are becoming more and more valuable by the second with the amount of damage that's being done. SNK's picked up that scout, already manages to bring it back to a 3 versus 3, and they're getting closer and closer to the time limit at the moment. 15 seconds left on the clock. Shots being spammed away. Actually, an AK's been found by Fitch. This guy's been so deadly. Entry onto sights. He already gets one. Looks for the second. Gets that as well. Leaving just X7 to try and clutch this one out. Looking for the first. Spamming away. Actually gets tagged, I think, through the wall. And now it is just down to him with 12 HP. There's no kit, so they do have to move relatively quickly. Gonna go for the spray on the first. Manages to hit it, but this is all just a bait from Fitch. Trying to play around with his opponent. Does the damage, and once again, it will be the team with a weaker buy that actually comes out with a round.
Yeah, Fitch has made this transition from being someone that we spoke about as having no impact on map number 1. Let's just bear that in mind. On Train, he was down at the bottom of the leaderboard. I even made the joke about how saying the first time I said his name, it was when I realized he was even on the team. You know, I didn't even know he was there until he got his first frag in like round number 8 or something like that. Or, you know, you know, there was no impact from him. Now,
I think he had 3 in the half.
He had 3 in that first half. And now he's been so influential. On Cobblestone, you look to him to get the entries in towards B. And now on this map, just locking down that site there. Nothing out of the ordinary. This time going to be, we'll be going down towards mid just as you praise him. And that's going to be the early man advantage seized here for iGame. Tengri, they did opt to go for 3 UMPs into this round. And whilst they might be deadly, will it be enough to beat the AK tide that iGame currently have? Let's find out.
Lot of damage. Ramsik is actually going to even things back up. They've got a lot of utility over on this CT side of the moment. It's not going to matter if they're getting picked apart. Juho with that AK once again bringing them another kill. And there are a couple of players on this site. The rotation from Pachanga going to be quite far away. So it's all going to be down to these UMPs. They're pretty close range. Sonic, it's not going to happen. Sagaton looking to turn things back once again. And unlike this T side, there is no extra money the wallets of these CT players. They'll either have to go for a risky force once again, or finally just bow out.
It's been very back and forth, though, at least in the early stages of this map. iGame, of course, not really too strong on overpass. Currently making a fairly good showing. If they keep all 4 players alive here, only losing 7. Oh, they also deal with Pachanga. That's going to damage the economy of Tengri that much more. 3-2 right now secured for them as they start to amount some cash. Over on the T side, Tengri just going to have to force buy on down. It would have been a double eco anyway. And they can do a lot of damage with these pistols. That scout going to be back up on Ramzik. Last time he inflicted so much damage across the board, something like 240 damage total with the AWP. Looking to try and replicate his success. iGame going to be going a little bit aggressive down towards B. 4 players here. They do leave 7 to spot out over at mid. Interesting enough, they leave it down to the guy with the UMP. SNK's gone very aggressively. That as has Pachanga over here towards short. They're pushing towards B. No one's here to lock it down just yet as everyone's pushed up short, and I don't think they're going to be ready for this. They spot out 1 player. Sagan peeks out wide, finds himself a second. Don't know how Sonic didn't get that trade, but SNK on the flank. They're not going to be ready for this quickly. And he comes in. This play could be huge, but Zore shuts him down. He was the linchpin there. The chance that they had. Sagaton's looking for a third, and he's going to get it. It's all on Ramzik with that scout. And I think he's just going to think about saving here. He's got full armor. Does have the scout as well, and they can just use that into the next round. Going to be trying to find some damage from heaven. Sagaton's tagged down low, as is Zore. Both 1 shots to the scout. Able to do a little bit of damage, but that's really going to be it. And now we get Ramzik to find 1. But then Sagaton actually gets himself a 4th. So despite being 2 HP the entirety of that round, still finds 4 frags. 3-3 right now. As iGame shut down that force fight. And now Tengri are just going to have to grit their teeth and take this vanilla pistol buy.
Yeah, I think Sagaton has literally just been the difference in these last couple of rounds, enabling his team to finally, well, basically bring the game back to a little bit more of reality. 1 flash. I'm liking this. Not going to go for 0 utility, just going to try and pop themselves out somewhere. Give those USPs a little bit more of a chance to make a difference. Obviously, this time there's 5 of them, so literally investing nothing other than that 1 flash. So any sort of kills will be valuable. May get them an extra nade on the board or something into the next round. Ramzik almost takes 2 with him. Look at the HP. Sonic could end 3 lives at the moment with 1 bullet. Unfortunately, he pushes into the 1 person who actually has a little bit more HP.
Should have channeled his inner Sam Fisher there with the USP to find some of them frags, but not going to be the case. 3-4 right now as iGame, they do take the lead over here on this T side. One thing that we have kind of noticed, though, is that their T side's always like a hell of a lot stronger. They're going to need to post a very decent scoreline. Well, let's see. They're going to be charging out mid. 3 players here. They also have Sagaton down towards connector. 7 spotting for that player on the jump, and he nearly lands the shot onto SNK. Doesn't quite connect it. They don't have head armor as well, so this UMP and the M4 on the side of iGame is going to be able to do a lot of damage to these helmetless players. Of course, just a 1-tap, all it's going to take to deal with them. Well, for the time being, Tengri are just going to be not pushing anywhere too aggressively, with the exception of Fitch, who is actually out towards toilets, trying to probe for some info over towards mid. He's always the kind of player that you can see going for these more aggressive holds, and it does lend itself very well to his style of play. He does make it work. Everyone else adopting a much more passive angle. He falls on back in the knowledge that there's no one there to trade for him. The only player, of course, nearby is Ramzik over towards SWAT-Fan right now, who is tasked with watching long. And iGame, they are going to be making an appearance there very, very soon. 2 players here. They get flashed in toward toilets. Fitch is still in a very forward position in comparison to the rest of his team. Could get caught off here by iGame if they act quickly.
They're leaving this very late as well. Now, the CT side, what this does mean is in terms of utility, they're basically out. They don't have a kit, so they've just got to go straight for these Angels. But that becomes much more apparent towards the late game. And they could actually just hold these players down. Now, Sagaton already being spotted. This is going to give Fitch the chance to get his 2nd kill of the round. And now, with only 15 seconds left, they're leaving it very late again. X7 is going to do work over on the B side. 1 kill will come in to even up the scoreline. But if they could deny this bomb plot, it could all be over. And that is it. Done and dusted. X7 has to go for a YOLO play, running back into the site, trying to find a couple of kills. Actually manages the first, but unfortunately he's got to run out of time. And, well, there's no point facing that. If he loses his life, it's so much more detrimental to his team.
both of these teams, they take things so painfully slowly, and it just doesn't work out for them. On that T side, countless times now, we've seen both Tengri and iGame lose it just because they let the timer go so low. And I feel like that's a crutch that you see a lot of these kind of, less established teams face. I can think of a lot of other teams, both in this league and that I've seen performing in the likes of ESEA Premier and whatnot, that have similar kind of issues where they try to go for these slow plays. They try to resemble almost the likes of Na'Vi, but you can just tell they're not as well oiled. They don't have their timings down. They don't have the entry frag power either, the reliability to get them into the site. And I do feel like fast plays lend themselves better towards these kind of lesser known teams. Now as they make their way towards the B site, plenty of time left on the clock. You got 7 watching the flank as well. He can dispatch many players coming in from there. Pachanga able to find one, find himself a second as UMP doing work. Does a lot of damage on the Saw as well. The Molotov going to spread and force them off the site, buying plenty of time for the rotate. Molotovs have their own though for the side of iGame, flushing these players out for the time being. The site though overrun by Tengri. And well, Sonic's going to get himself into the same corner that Pachanga had success with this UMP. Going to get one. No difference here for him, and down goes 7 as well. A very good textbook round there from Tengri, rotating players onto the site very quickly, and that's what I like to see. Pachanga just locking things down, buys so much time for the rotate. They couldn't deal with him, and ultimately that's going to be a 5th round for Tengri on their CT side.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be that 5-4. They get a couple in a row. The problem is they're still not really building up a lot of economy, and it means that with this buy coming back in for the iGame side of things, there is still a huge potential being reset going into the next round. So gotta wait and see what they're actually going to do in this one. Now, they're looking like they're going back to their slower style of play. Now, I'm not a fan of this. I think you may be in the same boat. We'll see if it works a little better this time. The problem is that style works if you have great setups or if the other team is going very aggressive. Now, at this point in time, we are not seeing very much aggression from the CT side whatsoever. The most aggressive player at the moment is Ramzik, taking a peek over towards Long. Doesn't have his AWP as of yet, so is either going to play this relatively passively. Other than that, they're just waiting quite far back over on the sites. They don't want to give anything away. And without that, it means that you're basically just pushing up against a full team with 30 seconds left on the clock. And at the moment, it's looking very similar yet again.
Yeah, no, I mean, iGame, they do always leave us wanting. Speaking of wanting, Tom, you want to quickly check your Discord messages? There we go. A little bit of an interlinking thing there. It is going to be at 5-4 scoreline right now, as Tengri do have the lead. Once again, a little bit of an aggressive stance coming out from Fitch. Now, not a position we see played a lot. No one's going to be able to trade for him here. He's fully flashed, gets one, looking for a second, does a lot of damage on a Juho. Now, Ramzik comes out wide for the trade, going to peek into Toilets. There's no flash there, going to get one as 7. Quick to refrag, puts it back into a 3-on-3. This A site going to fall and allow iGame to overrun it. But Quick on the rotate, Tengri coming on in. Someone can revert back, going to get tagged down low. 7 switching up that plant spot instead. Going to be going for the toilet plant. And Zori now falls on back to watch it. These 2 players on the site through the wall. 7 finds a lot of damage. Pachanga's going to get tagged down low. He peeks that wide, does even more. Dispatches of Sonic is now 7. He's on 3 frags now. He's going insane. And in the blink of an eye, it's all on Pachanga. This round goes the way of iGame in a very convincing fashion. 7 steps up to the mark. And this time, he's going to be top fragging. Unlike in the previous, where we saw him have a very, very weak game on Cobblestone, I feel like he was somewhat of the deciding factor there. And this time does look to be different. He might fall going for that 4K over towards B, but now they know where Pachanga is. Saw's going to be watching the rotate down over towards Monster, but Pachanga plays it safe. And as a result, we'll be saving up the AK.
Yeah, this is where the problem begins for the CT side. Now, we've seen them go for a lot of aggressive forces previously, and I don't even get to finish my thought train as they go for another. Not willing to just let this one lie. They're going to try and break things back here and now. Obviously, they'd only get an extra 1900. Probably wouldn't have the AK either, so it's definitely understandable that they're going to go for this one. But it's still a heavy risk, and with 5-5, you have to remember this is normally a CT-sided map. Now, with both of these teams, we could see something a little bit different if iGame aren't up to scratch on the CT side either. But the real scary prospect is, okay, they lose this round. We're going to see at least 7 rounds coming out from iGame on the T side, and that should be more than enough.
Yeah, at the same time, though, on an individual basis, iGame do have a better T-side performance. So that's always something to bear in mind. Their CT sides have always looked incredibly shaky, to say the least. Even on train, they didn't post the best scoreline on their CT side. It was, what, 10-5, despite having a few rounds where, you know, they could have definitely had a much more kind of secure scoreline. They definitely could have seen it go something like 11-4, 12-3, and there were just a few they were cheated out of because of not being too strong on that CT side. I mean, then on Cobble, you know, when you think about it, they did abysmally. So, you know, it's kind of important for them to post a fairly good one over here on the T side. They check the corner for Pachanga. He's going to be there, though. Gets one, gets two. How's he done this? He's looking for a third, but Zore finally shuts him down. Those were 2 kills Pachanga never should have had. Sonic on site, going to fall at the hands of Juho. The take coming in now. Ramzik with the scout over towards Bowers. Oh, a nice headshot as he's just wrecking them with the scout. Juho's going to trade things out. Finally deals with him, but Zore's going to get tagged down before he does. Juho up close on short. Tries to peek with the aggression. It's going to fall at the hands of Fitch. Now it's all on Zore. And while the B site going to be his playground right now, 2 players there over towards short. Bomb plant coming in. If they spray through, they're going to go for the boost instead, but he's in the smoke. Peeks out wide. Just playing around Pillar. Doesn't quite land that shot, and that's going to be Tengri picking up their 6th as they take the lead.
This is pretty much reading straight from the storybook of iGame at this point. They get themselves into a great position. They get themselves into a spot where they have the economy lead. They have everything in their favor to just take things further, and then they go, hey Tengri, do you want a lifeline? Here you go. Here, let's hand it to them. Like, you've got to give props to the way that Tengri are able to just do this consistently. This is very difficult to do with such weak buys, but it has to be said at the same time that how is this happening? How are they getting away with this so much? And where are these trades? How can someone get away with 2 kills that easily? It should just not happen at all. And now we go into a buy where AWP back onto Ramzik. He's going to take that one for free. Well, with the B site looking like the playground at the moment, the aggression going to come straight in. And of course, why not? They're going to turn it straight back around with 2 wonderful entries.
Yeah, look at this. They're locking down that B site, and Tengri don't so much as get a foot in the door. Ramzik might have their open pitch as well in the M4, but no one on the side of iGame going to be going down. They just fall on back, opt to play things safe, and that's going to be it all tied up once again as iGame don't want to allow Tengri to slip through the net. 6-6 secured, and currently no clear decider as to who's going to take this half. Of course, winning a half in Counter-Strike is basically determined as who goes into the second half with that 1-round advantage, and you can even see Sackington spots out where both these players are, tries to go aggressive, wants to try and do a little bit more economic damage, but he can't quite connect the shots. These 2 players saving doesn't really allow too much for Tengri. It wouldn't really justify force buying up behind them. Oh, but they're going to do it anyway, and I don't know if I agree with that one, Tom. I really don't.
The reason I would do exactly what they've done, or the reasoning I feel they have, no matter what happens in the next round, they're not going to have a better buy. Like, there's no way they're getting a better buy than the one that they currently have because of the weapons they were able to save. So, you add 1900 and you take away the 2 weapons they save.
Yeah, true.
It's definitely worse. At the same time, they could have just gone for like a sort of Hail Mary play with these players and not forced up the rest of them. But they must be feeling confident in the way that they play in these rounds. Clearly going a little bit more random, a little bit more sort of, well, uncontrolled, I suppose you could say, works them a bit better. So I kind of am just getting behind it at this point. But most of the time, it just comes down to individual performances. Strategy has not been a huge part of this game. And I think that's definitely something both teams will need to work on if they're going to push further into this tournament. But one of these teams has to take the 3 points. And so far, Ramzik is trying to make a play to give it over to this Tengri side.
Yeah, nice. Clean up shot over towards Ong. Now they're boosting up over towards SWAT. Sees over the smoke, gets himself a second. He's closing it down. The A site, Sackington up on top of the thing. Up on top of the thing? Up on top of the box. Dispatches. That was terrible. Dispatches of that one player. It's going to be a 3-on-3. The UMP's coming in from behind, and SNK next to fall. The long flank coming in from Pachanga. Looks to get punished here. The wide peak from 7 will find him. And now it's all on Pachanga. 1v3, UMP in hand, looking to try and show why this gun is so strong right now. Finds that first frag, switches things out to the AWP. Bodgun's Law taken over. as he peeks out towards mid. Does spot out as 7 there on the corner. But he doesn't have a kit. And oh, through the wall, going to be able to deal some damage, but really will have to fall back and save. Will he be able to get far enough away even? You take damage from very far away on this A site, but no, I think he's going to be all good. Plenty of time left. We'll be able to hold on to the AWP. That's going to be a 7-6 scoreline. Yep.
Do you know what Bogdan's lore is?
Yeah, it's not what I said. It's where the low HP player is supposedly.
That's the second time you've done that.
Yeah, I know.
Nothing to do with this.
No, yeah, it's all like, you know, he basically said the low HP player is supposed to have the AWP. That's what Skadoodle told me, and then the rifle is meant to have the. And then like the low HP AWP player is meant to peak
but
first.
I agree with Steel as well that Bogdan is not simple. I think that's probably my favorite quote ever. But, well, this time it is only going to be the AWP in hand for Ramzik. Got a pistol up. Changa as well, but the rest of the team are just going to be struggling away back in poverty. Well, I say that. Fitch is still going to be able to get one. Actually, almost gets a second as well. Come on, iGame. This is not a round you should be losing. I have to give props to them. They have managed to get themselves 7 rounds. But still going to be another coming in. This is way too close.
Every time iGame
pass each other.
Just the kryptonite is pistols to them. Now it's all on Ramzik. He's got an AWP. Thankfully, he doesn't have a Deagle or a P250 or anything like that. So iGame should be able to clutch this one out. 2v1. Bombers should be going down towards B. Now they should just be able to trade into this. Ramzik, not really known for his clutches, but he is an incredible player. Does have the AWP in hand, and as he makes his way onto the site, he's going to be watching the exact angle he's coming from. Should be able to spot this out, but a nice quick flick from Ramzik. Finds that first, turns it into a one-on-one, and 7 not in a position to trade. Now Ramzik only got to find one more. Doesn't have a kit to use, so got to go fairly quickly here, and 7's just playing it perfectly round the pillar, and oh no, he comes in from behind, he thinks it's short, and a wonderful play there from 7 to secure an 8th round for iGame as they do win out the half. They're looking to get this 9th round as well. Tengri will have enough money to buy on down. They won't have the AWP on Ramzik. He will be relegated down to the rifle. The AWP up on Zora as well. The time that they kind of needed the AWP on the side of Tengri to challenge the AWP for iGame. But nonetheless, rifles across the board. A little bit of utility, but not really enough.
Oh, Ramzik doesn't want to have a party, just getting rid of all of those balloons. Clearly not in the mood at the moment, and neither will Fitch, as he loses his life just seconds into the beginning of this round. Not the start they were looking for. And the big problem is as well, if iGame even have like a reasonable CT side on this map, that they should be able to take this one. It's going to have to come down to aggression. I'm really going to be looking at Fitch, especially on that T side, to get those sort of entry kills that we were seeing from him over on Cobble. But it is a scary prospect going into this one. And a lot of damage actually done to the remaining players. Unfortunately, Ramzik now, he's got to do even better than he attempted to do last time. 1v2 in the previous round with an AWP. Still got no kit, but now he's got to find 3.
And that's not the way to go about doing it. Pushes through the smoke, tries to catch them off guard, I think, was the aim of that one. And as his small and albeit very spammable body makes its way through the smoke, iGame are quick to deal with him. 9-6 scoreline in favor of the Finns. Heading into the deciding map in tonight's first best of 3. We have gone the distance, Tom, to kickstart tonight. We've still got more games coming up after this. Of course, it's 1-1 right now in the series, and the deciding map will decide who gets 3 points in the Starladder qualifiers in the group stages. So it's going to be fairly... I don't know, I can't think of the word. Oh my god. Right, my mind just... Yeah, there we go. Fairly crucial for them to pick this up. Thank you, Tom. You're my right-hand man. Yeah.
I'm actually really looking forward to this, because what you have to remember about these groups, they are brutal, in the words of Paul Redeye. And it's just sort of, it's a scary prospect, because if you go 0-2, we were talking to Hugo about this earlier, it's not mathematically impossible that you get out of the group. It's just very, very unlikely. You go 0-2, you're basically just not fingering your crossing your fingers.
Oh my god.
That you basically somebody else makes some mistakes, and that you end up as 3 points, 3 points, 3 points, then someone with 9. So it is a very, very scary prospect. And you have to talk about the idea that this is going to be one of those games that we expect to sort of be close. Big, I think, from my perspective, are probably going to be up the top of this group. I think they got a very good roster and will have had some time to actually practice a little bit more. Obviously, their game, I think, has just started as well. But it's going to be a very open group, and I think this one could be very close. I think the other groups have some very heavy hitters. Obviously, we got new iteration of Space Soldiers coming up a little bit later in the stage. But Rush B, they have stopped, so they've already broken the one law of Russia. But they are going to be making their way over, and cheeky little boost. Now, this boost either works wonderfully or not at all, and the bomb will go down very easily.
Pushing on through. The boost didn't really do too much. Bomb going to be planted. The rotate coming on in thick and fast from iGame. And well, a lot of players making their way down through connected to be coming in from the flank. The only issue is they've got to worry about Sonic, who is currently in a great place to deal with this, as is Fitch. The crossfire is going to be set up and looking to be very strong. Fitch is able to fall, but now Sonic to mop things up. Finds one. The trade comes through from Zori. They're already trying to go for that defuse. Pachanga's going to punish them for it. Finds one. Finds himself a second. Looking for a third. Has to reload. How's he still alive?
Queen.
What's going on? And now Zori trying to remedy his previous shortcomings, finds that first. SNK is falling on back and is playing this perfectly. There is no time left, and that's going to be Tengri picking up the pistol here. Zori can't even finish off SNK. He dies in the explosion, and SNK survives on 2 HP. That's going to be Tengri arriving at the 7th round. 7-9 right now. Force buying on the side of iGame to try and counteract the anti-eco. But ultimately, it's the start that Tengri needed.
I just want to say, sup, I'm fabulous. If you keep talking like that, I'm gonna just be like loving you forever. I just want to say, he just said, why we have Anders and Semler when we can have these guys? I hope that wasn't a joke, because
we're coming to a major near you soon.
Maybe
I promise,
when I fall asleep.
I'll see you guys in 2018. Let's be realistic. I would say 2017, but unless, I don't know, everyone gets serious like bout of food poisoning during the event and they urgently have to call, like, I mean, every caster. There's just me and Tom left. Yeah, I mean, it's not like we thought about how to make that happen or anything. I'm just saying, I eat a lot of Korean barbecue, you know. But anyway, we can see 3 players right now from the side of iGame over towards B. They're trying to well, this with these pistols, they have 4 spawn down. They're going to find one on a Ramzik, and as a result, it has slowed down Tengri, who once again have gone back to their very, very slow, very methodical routes. And this is something that usually punishes them in these anti-eco rounds. They normally don't have enough time to get into the sites, and then the pistols can hold things off long enough. Bomb as well has dropped very far back. They need to think about going back to get it, in all honesty, because they don't have a lot of time left. If you include rotating back to get the bomb, I don't even think they have enough time right now, Tom. I think they need to get these frags.
Yeah, this is a very, very sketchy way of playing the round. They've just got to hope that the CTs almost, well, believe that the bomb is with them, because they still haven't realized. Okay, finally, Sonic is going to go running his way all the way back. They have actually taken the A site. The problem is now they've only got about 15 seconds to actually get to one of these sites. I think they are just going to have to go for these kills. And I think Sagaton's just hoping to save this weapon. This could work wonderfully for him. If he just runs away, they may not actually have enough time to plant the bomb. He's going to get there. He hasn't got it. He hasn't got it. He's won the round.
He missed it. Sonic, you don't know where that is. Oh, no. Sonic had to go fast. He had one job. God. He literally had one job. And it's that tiny little corner. It is the most annoying thing. You know the corner on that B site where you can't plant. And you literally have to just edge over by a couple of pixels. That's where he tried to plant. And that means Tengri lose the round. And once again, Tom, it's that same thing. They go so slowly. They make a tortoise with both of its hind legs broken look like a speed demon. It's incredibly telling how much it's a problem for them, because it's caused them to use so many rounds on the side of Tengri. They have to force by down and try and answer back. A nice boost is going to be employed over here towards toilets to watch mid. Actually, it's just going to be boosts galore, as you've also got Sagaton boosted up down towards B. The one disadvantage of that is it's a very, very passive hold. If they smoke it, you're rendered useless, and you can get pre-fired very easily as well. SNK's over here towards toilets, already pushing in. It's a very, very sporadic play right now from Tengri, but ultimately looking like they want to collapse in towards B.
least they're sort of continuing that prophecy of not being able to win follow-up rounds. That's at least something that's been consistent about their team, but never mind. It seems like they're going to go out and try and win this one instead. Already with a 2-man advantage, A site in their control. This time they've remembered to pick up the bomb as well, which is always a good thing in Counter-Strike. Don't leave the bomb in the spawn. And SNK, well, he's completely taken the A site alone, but they're not even going that way.
And the endless back and forth continues, and there we go. Fitch to finish off Sagaton, who was trying to save.
This game's giving me a headache.
Yeah, I don't understand it. It's just back and forth endlessly. Tengri need to learn that when they go fast, hilarious that that's the sentence I just said when they have a player called Sonic on the team, but when they go fast, they win. And hopefully that eventually sinks in. You know, someone needs to grab these guys and just say, hurry the hell up. Because the timing has been fairly slow once again. Sonic going to be making his way in through the connector. Duo is here up close and personal. He spots him going into the corner, and this should be a duel that Sonic wins 9 times out of 10. If he goes down, he's got to be feeling disappointed. SNK out mid able to dispatch of Zore. Sonic's going to be smoked off for the time being, but finding a couple of chance shots through that smoke does tag down Juho and Seven a little bit. And right now, Tengri, they've slowed things down once again. They've taken this early man advantage. SNK out mid. He's doing a lot of work here. Finds himself a second frag up against these 4 sport players. Soar's down there as well, but he looks to fall on back. They should get cancelled out by Pachanga. Or one of these 2 players in connector as Sonic now goes aggressive to Molotov. Things are about to be getting hot and spicy for Soar. Over towards connector. So he finds himself facing off against 3 players from the side of Tengri. This should be an easy round for them here. Sonic goes out for the peek. And oh, how many bullets do you want to shoot, my friend? Finally takes him down. Sagaton able to get 1. Wants to try and save. And he might get up long. Oh, it's incredibly close, but they just miss each other.
Coming around the other side, though. Fitch should have this. So Tengri will actually, well, rectify the mistakes and get 2 rounds in a row, which is somewhat of a marvel to me anyway. But it does mean that we are going to see the reset of iGame, and it is starting to come back as a sort of both teams not really able to do too much on the CT side. Now, on Cobble, I'm a little bit more understanding, because Cobble is a map which, for a while, has been T-sided. It can, like, very, very good structured teams can pull out these sort of brilliant CT halves, but I can understand it. On Overpass, it's a little bit different. I just want to point out, the CT side have just completely got aggressive, and if they move, like, a few inches forward, they have the bomb. Luckily, the Ts are actually going to get away with it, so literally a few inches there and the bomb goes into the CT side control again.
Yeah, bomb's going to be able to 1 beat. So does have that AK, and he wants to try and save it. Sagaton and Zori trying to take whatever weapons they can, and oh, Zori nearly had his time to shine. Bachinga instead opts to go in through connector. Sagaton's got his work cut out for him. Molotov's going to go down, but Ramzik just pushes straight through the fire and flames. They're trying to do economic damage. Saw not really in a position to help out Zore, and he will fall to the UMP. Now Saw 1v4 with the AK. Nothing wrong with playing it over towards long, but for the time being, he's trying to lock things down. It's 1 in the crowd. He'll be looking for a second, and then there's Ramzik there to trade things out. It's 10 at 10 as things get equalized now by Tengri. They answer back. iGame finally able to buy on down over on their CT side.
Yeah, still no AWP in play, but they will have at least a bit of utility. Incendiary grenade on Sagaton is going to be the one which I want to see how he utilizes it at what time of the match. Now, Tengri this time definitely looking to go a little bit more aggressive. We're also going to see Saw push all the way out mid. He's literally just taken so much control and just hoping that somebody's going to come pushing back. But this could be the prime flank if they are spotted over towards this B site. Now, a lot of this relies on Sagaton. Now, you've got to remember, he's already used that Molotov. He's used very quickly to slow any rushes down. But now the spot will be made. This is where we need to see the pounce come in from Saw. He needs to get moving. Now, they do have Sonic holding the flank, but not his angle. He's going to be able to get through from spawn. But interestingly, the Ts have not dedicated themselves just yet. It's almost like they just used that to bait out a little bit of utility. Haven't thrown in any real nades of their own. And in fact, they may go falling back into the clutches of Saw.
Yeah, Saul's going to be there to find one, looking for a second. Fitch able to trade him out. It's a nice idea, though. They throw smokes and stuff out of the site, then they choose to not pick the fight, make their way on back. Do run into Saul, though, trade things out very quickly. Back into a 4-on-4, and now they're making their way towards A. Only one player here in the form of Zore. Everyone else down towards B, and Ramsey doing a great job of selling this lurk, especially as he deals with Sagaton, ripping heads off. He's going to be on 2, looking for a third. Oh my god, what are you doing, Ramsey, you monster? As he picks up 3, then they dispatch Zore up towards A. And I mean, at that point, you know, iGame, what more could they have done? Ramsey was selling the lurk perfectly anyway, without taking the three faces off down towards B. And then Zore finds himself 1v4 up towards that A site. So it will be an 11th round for Tengri as they take the lead. iGame, they have nothing to answer back. We're just going to be going for an almost entire eco here. A couple of Degos? Why am I Australian? Couple of Degos, mate. Couple of Deagles in play. And a few bought up pistols here and there. So we're able to find one in mid action with the USP. 7 as well, doing some decent damage on a Pachanga. Finally, the trade comes through from SNK to equalize things back into a 3-on-3. Tengri have suffered heavy casualties, but their economy is booming on the T side. So it's not going to be felt too much just yet.
Yeah, rotation is going to be coming around from this T side, making their way back towards long. Now, normally this would be a smart thing to do. They've got the ranged weapons. They should be ready to actually take this, but Soar's still going to win the fight. They now know where he is. They haven't spotted the bomb, so the rotation isn't going to come in just yet from this side. SNK is actually going to drop that one player back. Now they should know exactly where this is. They've already spotted the bomb over towards A long, so they may as well make the full rotation. We'll see the remaining CT of X7 make his way over as well. Nade will be thrown out. He has managed to get himself an AK, and that nade does so much damage to Sonic. He's now low as well. Spam not going to be able to do too much. In fact, Sonic will pick things up, but actually gets dropped in the meantime. Only one bullet could take him out of the round. SNK actually going to go for the plant. Quite ballsy, in fact, considering the position of his opponent. But now he has this round in his hands. He could just fall away. There's no kit on X7. They should know that just based on the pistols. There's already a ridiculous round coming out from iGame just considering the investment. But Tengri should at least take this over the line, unless there's some sheer heroics at the moment. X7 is a little bit clueless. Oh! 26 HP. Oh.
This could go either way now. Both of them dead in one bullet. SNK gonna go for the peak, and the peak is advantage there. Bam! 11 to 10. 12 to 10, sorry. As Tengri pick up their 12th, and it was incredibly close. That was a nail biter for sure. It was looking like 7 could have done something towards the end, but ultimately being on a mere 6 HP does mean they lose that one out, despite it being so incredibly close. 12 to 10 secured as Tengri. They maintain that lead. The economy is still looking incredibly strong. iGame finally buying on down once more. You got the AWP up on Zore as well. Now he's been fairly quiet thus far, I would say. Not really living up to the sort of pedigree of what we normally see, and I think a lot of that has just come on the CT side, at least down to him not getting the AWP much. Juho's going to fall very early on in towards mid. Now Saw actually going to be trying to force the issue up here, makes his way down over towards mid, looking for this refrag. Flashes and the Molotov come through to deny that peak. Zore legs Pachanga over towards B. Does get tagged a little bit himself, falls on back, doesn't want to take that re-peak and risk giving away another man advantage to the side of Tengri. Right now, they're going to try and grab connector control. So able to find one. Ramsey goes down. He's going to continue to play his aggressive position. But through the wall, Fitch dispatches of him. That's going to be the man advantage return back in favor of Tengri as the trade comes through. Better late than never. Bomb still down, though, over towards T-spawn. And this could very quickly shape up to be another round they lose because of time. Finally, Sonic, got to go fast, goes back for the bomb. How many more times are we going to make that joke? Yeah, honestly, no, someone execute me. I've overused it now. I'm pulling up flakes. And, well, it is going to be the man advantage in favor of iGame. Fitch falls over towards mid, and suddenly time is becoming a huge issue for these guys. 7 over towards long. He's looking the wrong way, and Sonic does deal with him with only 30 seconds left. They've got to make their way onto one of these sites quickly. And as Pachanga rotates down towards B, I don't even know where the bomb's going at this point. This might be round loss, surely based on the fact it rotated back towards long. It looked like they wanted to go down B. They've only got 15 seconds left to get it down over towards A. He's got to literally sprint under the site and go for the plant. And Zore's there, and this is going to be the round going the way of iGame. They might be able to deal with Zore. He needs to deny the plant. There's still enough time for it.
You can't plant there!
Oh, someone
He's
needs to
done it
tell
again!
Sonic where you can plant the bomb. What is wrong with you? But they still get it.
Oh my
They
god.
still get it. Oh my god. I got angry then, Tom. That wasn't excitement. That wasn't hype. That was anger.
How does he not know that? I genuinely cannot believe they managed to win that. I genuinely cannot believe that that actually went that way. Oh, that's actually gone straight through me. I cannot... I am just in shock, but they still manage it. iGame... Oh, it was all about survival there, and just didn't manage... stay alive. I'm actually slightly in shock after that round. Absolute ludicrousy. But Tengri is still in the lead. They've still got the money on their side by a hefty margin. And the CTs are going to be, well, waiting yet again.
I don't even know what to say. Sonic blows my mind every time we watch him. And not in a good way. Oh my god. Okay. Well, let's approach this from a rational point of view and get back into this. It's going to be the alt bite for Ramzik. Sonic should never be allowed near the bomb ever again. He's clearly not trained in how to use that thing. Gotta wonder what he is trained in. But for the time being, he's gonna instead elect to give it to Pachanga. That's a very good choice. Through the wall, Fitch finds another. These walls are just nothing to him. And now Sonic, trying to watch Connector, finds one. Wants to try and prove himself, and he can't. He's going to be eliminated there by 7 with a 5-7. And that will allow him to at least grab an AK off of Sonic's mangled corpse. Now they're coming in. What looks like they are going to try and go for this retake. Pachanga's watching the aggression in through toilets. He can hear both these players coming on in. They should be able to get the trade. 7 peeks on through. Does find that first frag out of Pachanga. Now he finds himself in a 1-on-3. Ramzik's already pushed up along with the AWP, and then SNK coming in from the flank. This is going to be the death of 70 unless he can do something truly impressive as he finds himself now sandwiched between these players. Pulls him back up towards Long, just holding the angle right now. Fitch already pre-firing one. He's playing this on high alert, and there we go. 7 goes down. That's a 14th round for Tengri, and it looks like they will be arriving at match point very soon unless iGame can try to sort out their problems on this CT side.
I want to point out, I have no idea why anybody would hide behind a wall that Fitch is pre-firing every single time. Why are you standing behind that? He keeps doing it. I think that's 2, maybe 3 times now. He's just shot that wall and got a kill. Stop hiding behind it. It's just not smart at all. Either way, we do have a buyback up. They saved for this. They were waiting for this one. AWP back onto Zori. Obviously, it came very close the last round, but that will soon be wiped from my memory forever. Just for my own sheer sanity. Aggression, however, coming out. And this time, Pachanga is there to start things off. Gets himself 2 kills. Ruins a lot of the chances for iGame in this round. And we're going to need to see something big coming out from the remaining players. And X7 is actually going to continue the aggression on in the same place where both of his teammates just died.
Yeah, he's thinking Pachanga will never see this coming, and he does. So there we go. You do lose 7. Who is going on that flank. A lot of this, I think, is going to fall onto Zori with that AWP. Both of these players having a fairly quiet second half. Now, Saw has managed to get himself on the other side of toilets. I don't know if they're going to... Oh, never mind, he's dead. Now it's all on Zori, 1v5. And he's all the way down towards B. Bombs fast rotating over towards A. He can hear Sonic on shore on that lurk. And he might be able to deal with him now. Letting him cross for the time being. There we go. Glad he didn't miss that shot, and it's going to be an interesting decision. Does he go for the retake? Does he save the AWP? When he's so far away, he's just going to have to...
Does he go for the retake? If he's got a screw loose, then sure.
No, I know. I just, you know, maybe we'd see some amazing heroics from Zori. Maybe we'd see his huge vascular balls coming into action, but no.
Well, he's just found a kit. Now he should go back, yeah?
Yeah. He's got more than enough time. He's just going to look to try and save over here towards Nightclub. And, well, he's making it costly at least. Oh, walks out into the flash. Suddenly, not too confident. Going to be able to get a third. Oh my god, Zori! But then Fitch, the player who lets no one save, the killer of giants, is able to mop that up. 15
it's worth
to
it
10.
for them. They've got so much money that dropping that AWP is just going to make things so much more difficult for iGame. They have only managed to pull off 1 round, and it was actually the second round force, which is pretty much a given for them. They've won that like every single time, so... Yeah, not looking good for them at all. Even with some of the comedic mistakes that Tengri are making. And actually, that was it, wasn't it? That was the one round they won, that bomb plant round, where they didn't manage to do it, and Sagaton ran away. So it wasn't even that they outfragged them. They won a 2v1 that was a massive mistake from Tengri. That's horrific. That is horrific.
Someone needs to sit Sonic down and tell him how the bomb works. Oh, look at this. Speaking of someone who doesn't need to know how things work, Juho out mid with the UMP. Changes everything you thought you knew about CS. Takes that aggressive angle, finds those 2 frags. That's been the kickstart that they needed. Let's see. Now, Sonic is still alive, and that's going to make iGame's chances of winning this round that much higher, as he's currently the one with the bomb. So, not sure it's actually ever going to go down. We're going to be relying on the fact that Fitch can find all 5 frags here as he makes his way down in towards the B site. They are going to be pushing on through now. 7 is watching the angle. Sagaton's putting a lot of faith in his teammate to hold this. He still doesn't turn around. What the hell was that? Now Sonic finds himself 1v4. He has got the bomb. He's got to remember to plant it this time. There is 45 seconds left, so you'd hope he would get it down, and he walks into the crossfire. That's going to be iGame picking up their 11th, delaying the victory of Tengri another day. They do live to fight just yet, trying to take this through to overtime, desperately clawing their way back in. Tengri have plenty of money, though, to buy on down. It will just be a force buy for either side. But the utility advantage can be going the way of Tengri fairly heavily here.
Yeah, we are going to have still a buy back up. Of course, for iGame at this point, there's not really anything to save for anymore. The rainy day is now. It's more of a hurricane. But we're going to see Zori try and fall back. She goes for the repeat. Down to 1 HP. That Molotov may do enough to finish him off. He's actually just going to escape. But look at the HP already on the iGame side. They've lost so much. Not lost a player yet until SNK finally finishes the job. Tengri has put these nails in the coffin already. We'll see the man advantage quickly gained. Saw unable to retreat. But it doesn't seem to matter as they're slowly being picked off. The A site has already been lost.
Look at this. Look at this from Ramzik. He's already pushed up so aggressively. I don't even know if they're going to see us coming now. They will have to check their angles anyway. They can hear the rotate coming in on towards A. And Ramzik will fall, but now they're both tagged down extremely low. SNK takes the angle aggressively. It's all on Sagaton. 1v3, and now it's an 1v3. That's going to be Tengri picking this up 16-11 and winning this best of 3 series 2-1 as per usual. Quickly, before we do our chat interaction, Tom, do you want to give me any closing thoughts on this one?
Well, to win a game, you have to be good at both sides of the map.
There we go. That's Tom's opinion. And let's take a look at the chat. Let's see who we got. Quick shout outs to
I think we've actually got the next game coming pretty soon. I don't know if we have time.
Yeah, we probably don't. Top Dog X, Cryo Kevin, and some other people. Psyche, Julko, some other names, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, right, we have got a game number 2 coming up very, very soon. That is going to be Tricked versus Epsilon. Oh, I am right? Yeah,
yep,
that's
yeah,
it.
you got it.
Okay,
don't doubt yourself.
I did it. And yeah, so be sure to stick around for that. We will be back very, very shortly. Going to be taking a very quick break, I believe. Or maybe not. We might already have the IP sorted out. The game might already be underway. Who knows? I'm sure we'll find out. But I think we're going to cut to a quick break, Tom. Very quick.
We'll be going to a break and we'll be back in a moment.